You ever wondered what Thanos was cooking moments before those Avenger thugs broke into his house and brutally murdered him? You probably don't care, but this is the setup for our D&D session. Anyway, legend has it the Mad Titan would still be stirring the pot to this day if everyone just admitted that his depopulation plan was correct.
I'm starting to believe that one saying about how elves are only as insane as their ears are long.
This is coming from someone who thinks kissing gets women pregnant.
I'd Thanos, then support his universal Russian roulette genocide plan.
I'll support anything that gets demons killed.
Who the hell is Thanos?
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
It says after adding the crystallized tears of a Roman cuckold, drop the car keys of a 1998 Honda Civic into the center of the pot.
What's next? A half-smoked cigarette found on the floor of a 1976 Cutlass Supreme?
It smells like hot ass in here.
I thought only pirates used a cutlass.
I'm just glad Fearin decided not to kill me as long as I agreed to help everyone here.
Because I want to see if your boiled alive demon body could be used to substitute the oxtail ingredient.
Ingredients go in the pot. Anything else does not.
What the hell is a Honda Civic?
With the help of some very dangerous witches and several ingredients you'd find in a meth lab, we eventually found out that Thanos was trying to recreate the chicken nuggets from McDonald's they had before the formula changed. At some point, Megumin slipped her blood into a pot, caused an explosion, the little academia witch almost died, and somehow I got blamed for everything.
What the hell is McDonald's?
This girl is a damn dummy.
You wouldn't happen to know any healing spells, would you?
No, I'm a dark witch. I don't know anything about healing.
When I first met you, you said you was one of the good witches.
Yeah, good at dark spells.
Mage, warlock, witch, alchemist, sorcerer, lawyer. It doesn't matter. Unless you can beat me. You all need to relearn the basics of magecraft all over again. You almost let Fearin trick you into creating a Lazarus pit to revive Thanos.
I really thought it was a 10-piece McNugget.
Then why did you instruct Roxy to attack Ainz to prevent him from moderating?
After adding LaBelle's armpit sweat, mix in a teaspoon of Fortnite Blast. No, that's the entire
The pot is not intended as a child's plaything.
I have nothing to say to a demon.
Okay, settle down, Huey, Fearin, and Voldemort. Let's work some real magic and find out how to get Cross-Eye's Patreon more subs.
From days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe, there stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture, loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolves, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the comic Relief Crusader.
Hello, everyone! Damn! I finally made it. Okay. And I'm only a few minutes late. That's quite alright. So, thank you for for sticking around. No, it's a little bit late. I was on the phone. I'm going to tell you yes in a minute because everybody's like asking, hey, what's going on? So first I want to say everybody out there, hello, great to see you. And JRC, oh boy. Yes, oh boy, indeedly doodly. How's it going, man? Nice that you can be here. My handy dandy wrench right now, Vincent Womack, all the way in merry old Europe. Who tells everybody that happens to be watching there on X, on the Rumbles, and on the YouTubes and everywhere else to please like, subscribe, comment, and share the stream, because if you don't, you're a damn filthy bugger. How's it going there, Vincent? Nice to see you, dude. And my German Mexican, and here we go. How's it going, man? Nice that you can be here tonight. And he said, this time I am afraid I am not so lucky. Really. I have a late student in 30 minutes, but then 30 minutes are 30 minutes. That's true. So if you want to horrify your student, you want to keep the show on and let them actually watch what real English actually somewhat sounds like. So there you go. Always willing to be educational. So, and yes, woohoo, breaking news. You heard it here, folks, on CRC. That's right. Let's see who else is jumping in here. We got the collector. We got Gap after dark. Not during the day, but after dark. How's it going, man? Great that you can be here today. I am so glad that you're here. And Mr. Peterson, otherwise known as John Dance Monkey. Oh, I'm dancing, dude. I'm dancing in my seat. I am rubbing my butt all over my chair because my butt cheeks want to dance. Canadian Spider-Man, how's it going, dude? Elves are sexy. Yes, they just happen to be if you draw them correctly. Like in the skit that you just saw. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Happy Tuesday. Hello to everyone. Hello to you, dude. Nice to see you all today. That's right. And I'm trying to put the maximum effort into everything as I'm trying to catch up on the chat. We got Mr. Al Nickerson of Sword of Eden. That happens to be here right now and joining into the chat. Welcome to the Insanity, Al. I hope you are feeling better, dude. Really, honestly. Al, unfortunately, like I believe I said on Sunday, he couldn't join. He has a little bit of the sniffles. So hopefully he didn't plots all over his pages and make the ink run. So that's what I'm hoping. So nice to see you, Al. Collector, I have no idea what that means. So because I cannot read Japanese, thankfully you have a Canadian Spider-Man that has been to Japan and can probably read that. Okay, so what's going on? All right, why the delay in the show? Okay, while I was at work, and also I've been just rushing around like crazy because we just kind of got off work a little late today. Well, actually a little long today, and I received a phone call all the way from, let me see where that phone call came again. Hamburg, New York. I didn't realize it was Hamburg in New York. So, or maybe I didn't, I forgot. Anyway, all the way from Hamburg, New York. Yes, Al, Mike, you guys could make a comic book called Booger. Probably. Okay, so anyway, so I get a phone call from Hamburg, New York. And unfortunately, I was in the work truck, and the work truck is kind of loud. And, oh, he said konnichiwa. Oh, okay, that's what he said. All right, cool. Konnichiwa to you, collector. Anyway, oh, so you're now cold-free. Nice. Thank you, Jesus, that he's feeling better. Anyway, okay, sorry. So, got a call in the work truck. Work truck was noisy. I told the guy to call back in about 10 minutes, so hopefully I'd be in my car. That I'd be able to hear the person. So unfortunately 15 minutes elapsed and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not waiting around. I want to get home because it's been a long day. And so he just happened to call while I'm driving. While it's against the law to actually answer your phone and talk, although I've done it a few times and thankfully the RCMP is not listening, I had to miss the call again. And so he texted me. And so anyway, make a long story short, he actually called like about maybe 5 minutes before the show started. And he is from a program. This guy, he works for a couple of professional manga editors all the way in Japan. And there's a program out in Japan with a couple of well-known mangaka artists that have put out, successful manga in Japan that are also teaching and instructing this course. And anyway, you can find them on YouTube. It's called Learn to Draw Manga. Okay, and they got a channel on YouTube. You can go look it up if you're so inclined. And yeah, not listening as far as you know. Yeah, well, true. It's Canada, and they could be listening regardless. So whatever. Too late now. I'm home. Haha, you didn't catch me. Anyway, so last year, I think it was around this time, I talked to one of the editors there, and anyway, I showed them some samples of my work that I did, and at the time, because some of you guys know what was kind of going on, yes, Hamburg, New York, not Hamburg, Germany, collector. I was still in training with Hungry Boy, and and Al was there too, and Al, awesome dude that he is, giving me a few tips here and there, and while we're talking about inks and pens and nibs and stuff like that. So, and this is before kind of like Hungry Boy went on hiatus, or during his extended now hiatus. So they said, well, as you're still kind of practicing, because I was kind of torn between, learning from, how should I put it? Like a North American standard of how to draw, especially in the comic medium. I was also kind of torn between, wanting to draw in a manga style, because I enjoy that. And I'm not saying I enjoy more, but, I do enjoy it, right? I just find the stories a bit more enjoyable, let's put it that way, instead of the, plain ordinary, beat 'em up superhero kind of ordinary stuff that we've seen for decades from Marvel and DC, right? Oh, coffee's so good. Vince Womack says, so have you ever checked out Draw Like a Star? Yes, I have. I've checked him out. Kind of an odd voice. I think he's German though, but he's got some pretty good tips. So, but yeah, I've totally checked him out. So anyway, so they gave a call back after a year, and they scheduled me for another interview tomorrow evening, 6:30 my time, and they want to see my work because I haven't seen it in over a year, and they thought that they would just check in and see if this is something I'm still interested in doing, in learning, and learning from some professionals in in how to do manga properly. Not that I don't want to do not that I'm shunning North American comics per se. I still enjoy them, depending, at least when it used to be good, which we're going to get into that story later on. But it's manga and thrills me more, right? I just like the stories. And Collector says, yeah, Hungry Boy is our Luke Skywalker, somewhere lost in the galaxy, but still highly looked after, beloved and very well missed. Well, I sent him a couple of video postcards, so hopefully he answers back. I'll keep you guys updated on Hungry Boy. So yeah, we had a little bit of a lengthy interview. Essentially, it's an interview call, kind of like being interviewed for a job, and they wanna check out what I've been doing in over a year, and again, and this is why again I have to really thank Vincent for for like, hey, you haven't done a drawing stream in years, why don't you do a drawing stream, and hence the reason why Huge Circles is on Sundays, and why it's a 6-hour show sometimes. Maybe 4, maybe 4.5, maybe 5. Could be 5.5. I don't know. And that's why it's also fun to have Al there, because he's got the gumption. He's got the pizzazz. He's got the moxie. And and learning from him, and Al is a plethora of knowledge, and again, thank you, Al. I really appreciate you, dude. I really honestly do. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. So we're I'm gonna see what happens tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to turn out. So, but these are some real professionals that have produced successful manga over in Japan, and it would be learning from, not that I already haven't been learning from the best, not that I'm going to make it sound like that, but it's a different culture, and when you're learning, what I'm trying to say is it's exciting to learn from a completely different culture that's not North American, and trying to learn their way of their particular type of art style and how to do it right. I don't want to say that doing comics or doing artwork in a North American fashion, so to speak, is easy. It's not. There's still a lot of studying to do. And I'll mail you a bill. I mean, you're welcome. Dude, you're awesome. You're awesome, man. You are really, really awesome. You have no idea. You got no idea how completely awesome you are. But I think you already suspected, but no, it's learning another culture's way of doing art, way of doing a medium that we're familiar with. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll you know what? Maybe I'll do a stream on Thursday and let you know what happens with the interview that I have tomorrow on Wednesday. How about that? Is everybody game for that? Are we all good? Winrave, what's up? Did you eat Taco Bell, Vincent? Maybe he did. And that's why I feel obligated to torture my arse for 6 hours. There you go. That's dedication. That's a mod. So yeah, I mean, if everybody's game, maybe I'll give everybody an update of how it goes on Thursday, and let you know what happens. And because I suppose this would be a pretty exciting thing to kind of happen on this channel. And like I said before, and if you guys have been watching the show for an extra long time, for the 4.5 years that I've been doing this, almost 4.5 years. No, it's about 4.5 years. Wow. You probably heard me say it before. I'd like to bring everybody along for the ride, and because I like to bring everybody along for the ride, along for the fun, and again, holding myself accountable, practicing, and I just don't want to say that I'm going to do something. I want to show you guys that I'm actually doing something. So there you go, as he takes another sip of his coffee. Oh yeah, so Al says Taco Bell is people. So this is an interview to enter a school, so to speak. Yes, Yes, it is. Al. They got a YouTube channel, Learn to Draw Manga. Okay, that's the YouTube channel. And so obviously, they keep their videos, somewhat relatively short because, you don't want to give everything away, in videos. Otherwise, people would end up stop coming. But they put out their first, how should I put it, compendium of their first students. And GRC, bless you, who sneezed? Oh, that was my wife. Yes, bless you, Miss Relief. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they put out their comic, I suppose, of multiple students that produce, like, say, what you would call, like, in Japan, kind of like a one shot is like about 16 to 24 pages in Japan for a one shot, right? So you kind of want to summarize, like, in at least 16 to 24 pages. So there was a few students that did that. There were some other students that basically did, like, kind of like a 4-panel, like, kind of like mini comic, like, what you would find like in a newspaper, funnies or something like that. Some others did, like, 3-pagers basically, stuff like that. So, and I will say that 2 or 3 of them really stood out to me, at least. So, some of the others, not my cup of tea when it came to storytelling. Especially one that was, about lesbians. So it's like, yeah, no, that kind of stuff doesn't fly in Japan. Because we've heard the news reports. They reject North American wokeism, which is great. So yeah, this is an interview. It's going to be at 6:30 tomorrow, my time, in the Republic of Alberta time. And the other thing I told them is, there is another reason why I would really like to do this. And the dude is like, oh, really? Why? And I said, well, first of all, next month on the 25th, I said, I'm going to be 54, and in February. And I said, back in the 90s, we did a fanzine, a bunch of buddies of myself, and when you start having a family and stuff like that, I stopped drawing for, God, like about 30 years, maybe a couple of doodles here and there. And my kids always ask, how come you don't draw anymore? It's like, well, other things kind of, took over, so to speak, going out and working and stuff like that. But you guys know, Clobberin Times and his channel, and it kind of like revived a spark of doing comics and blah, blah, blah. And I said, the other reason was, and Al was there a couple of weeks ago, I said, with what's going on, this is what I told him. I said, the other alternative reason is, I said, I don't know if you know what's happening in the news, but, up here in Canada, in Alberta, there's a little bit of a movement going on to separate from the rest of Canada and become our own country, so to speak. And I said, with that happening, where I'm living, there's going to be a lot of firsts. And I said, I would like to be the first comic to come out of a newly born country. Should the whole separation thing go through, right? It would be a first. And he's like, wow, that actually is really, really cool, because I don't think we've ever had that happen, like, anywhere, for mainstream comics or for even manga. And he said, that is, like, really cool. I'm gonna have to pitch it to our editor and see what she thinks of that. And Woodrave, yeah, thanks, man, I appreciate that. I'm getting a little long-winded here, but that's another cool reason. So, but we'll let you know. So if I go live tomorrow, or not tomorrow, sorry, on Thursday, then I'll go live Thursday, and you guys better be there. I better plan it. And I'll let you guys know what's happening. So, Free People's Republic of Albertanistan. God. It's better than what's going on in Pakistan. Because apparently they're allowed slaves there now. So, we don't have any. Okay, anyway. So, enough babbling. Let's get on with the show because I took up about 25 minutes of your time, kind of, or at least 20. And let's get on to one of the favorite parts of the show that we like to call... Stupid news. We haven't done this in a while, and we should, actually, more so, because, we haven't done stupid news in a long time. Because, you know what? Here's the weird thing. It's becoming harder to find some really dumb, stupid news out there. So I'm going to start with Canada because, we want to separate, and Canada's dumb. So I'm going to start with this from Canadian news from CBC. And hello to everybody out there that happens to be on Rumble and X as well. So I hope you don't find any of this offensive. And if you do, well, that's too bad. I don't care. This is my channel. So from the CBC, in their business section, tank top ads on Amazon using offensive phrase pulled from site after CBC investigation. So, Amazon told CBC News the phrase wife beater, the shirt, doesn't violate its offensive products policy. So, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I always kind of wondered why, in a kind of weird way, that they had to call it that. But I mean, I get the kind of weird history behind it. It's, I don't like it, but, it doesn't mean that, I don't know, it should be banned. It just has become known as that. It's just really weird. But apparently, CBC, the pinnacle of journalism in Canada, might as well use Snopes. Apparently, they deem it offensive. I mean, in a bizarre kind of way, I kind of see why, but I mean, it doesn't mean that anybody who wears it is going to do that. JRC99. Hey, I heard there may be an exchange for Minnesota. Alberta to the States and Minnesota to Canada. Even if we stayed in Canada, I don't want Minnesotans. I don't. And I don't want all the Somalis in Minnesota. So, call me racist, but some of them are not exactly their best and brightest. Let's put it that way. Ilhan Omar, for example. I don't know. Does that say anything? Does that ring a bell, maybe? I don't know. No. And Vince Womack, never go fully Ricky Ricardo. Ricky Retardo. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, yes. Also, lesson of the week. Flashbangs can hurt. That's right. Never pick up a flashbang. You might lose some digits. So, my God. Take Minnesota and get Oregon for free. We'll ship them all to Quebec. We'll let them deal with it. Okay. So, 3-pack men's 100% cotton tank top A shirt, white beater undershirt. I mean, I don't know. Why not just call it an undershirt? I don't know. White beater undershirt. I don't know. It's of all the money that they could spend on actual reporting, this is what they do. They pick on Amazon for clothing choices and clothing names, I guess, and stuff like that. So, JRC. But I heard Kanadistan wants the refugees. Yes, we've now become that phrase like America. Send us your poor, you're hungry, you're, I don't know, disenchanted or disheartened or, whatever the heck it was. Send us, except in this case, it's send us your poor, you're smelly, you're, You're stinky, you're uneducated, and those that cannot drive a truck worth a hill of beans. So, yeah. So there we go. So there you go. If anybody wants to know, apparently the wife beater T-shirt or tank top or whatever you want to call it at this point, apparently it's offensive, and more than likely because probably most white men wear it, it's probably racist as well. So there you go. There's that. This from the Daily Mail from England. I love England. They're just as retarded as we are. Daily Mail. Dream female teacher is jailed for, oh boy, violent sex acts on male pupil aged 11. Oh my God. After victim's mother discovers naked selfies she sent to the child. Oh my God. Is she teaching health class? I mean, why? 11 years old, my God. Yes, exactly. You're pedos, rapists, and you're incestual best. Oh, and don't forget those that are into bestiality too. So apparently the wife was telling me about a story of that she happened to see on, I believe, Facebook or something like that. I'm not going to repeat it. It's just, oof. Damn. Yeah, send them the broke, woke, and scam artist. Exactly. So, besides making this male pupil the most popular kid in his class from here on out till he graduates, no. Just no. You don't do this. What is it over, I don't know what, over the past 5, maybe 10 years, of teachers doing this with their pupils? This is insane. I mean, it's the reason why we call it stupid news, but I mean, I don't get this. I really don't get this. See, if a male teacher were to do this, right? I mean, yeah, great. Send him to jail, but it just seems to be, I don't know. I'm glad that this teacher is jailed too, but it's bizarre. It's just bizarre. And 11. I mean, not even a teenager. And I wouldn't exactly, like the article says here, dream female teacher. I wouldn't even call it a dream at this point, because I'm just thinking that the mother that discovered the pictures on the phone, that's a nightmare, man. Like, damn. So, no, John. No. Just no. Gap, I see what you did there. So, Mr. Peterson, yeah, 11 is a bit out there. Yeah, it is. It really is. That I don't get. But say maybe 15 plus, that I can kind of get. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know the context and what you mean it. It's wrong, but at that age, kids are raging with hormones. Well, yeah, because puberty, right? 15 and more, right? And he also says, yeah, it's very wrong of the adult, however, to entertain it, much less commit to it. Well, exactly. I mean, you go there to learn. You're hoping that your kids are learning something. I mean, not that kids probably nowadays in school learn much of anything. And yeah, Al, I agree. Schools are grooming children. It's sad and sick. No, 100%. It is. It really, really is, honestly. I hope she never teaches again. She shouldn't. And not just female, any teacher, male or female. You know, because like I was going to say, I mean, if it was a guy, that guy get beaten within an inch of his life, if not, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, dude, don't be stupid. And if you are a teacher, yeah, definitely don't do that. So Al taught in high school, or no, sorry, not high school, college, university. So you can guarantee he never even entertained the thought of that. So because he's a proper educator. So hence the reason why he's insane enough to teach me a few things here and there. So anyway, so let's see. We're getting to some news here. Let's see about DC Comics and how they destroyed Marvel. And we also got something about Hasbro. The plethora of toys that they make. So, you know what? What should we get into? We'll do, you know what? I'm going to save the comic stuff for last because I'm trying to whet Al's appetite for the DC Marvel, you know, destroying thing. That way I get to keep him around a little bit longer here and there. So, you know, because why not? So this from Bounding into Comics, Hasbro, the toy company, is sued. Hasbro sued for lying to investors. New lawsuit claims recent stock prices were artificially inflated by overprinting Magic the Gathering cards. Like, what? Damn. You broke my heart, Hasbro. No, Hasbro. I'm sorry. Hasbro. Yeah. All of you collectors out there. Yeah, has been Hasbro. Exactly, Gap. Has been Hasbro. My God. Oh, man. And you have the same king. Yep. That's right. Hasbro has been making some very poor decisions lately with some of their stuff. Oh my God. Oh God, Pablo will go nuts. Yeah, he probably will, won't he? So make sure you bring it up to him because that'll be hilarious. I want to see his head explode on Nick Weiser's channel. Okay, so what's going on with this? All right. So while both fans and Wall Street have long recognized Magic the Gathering, their role basically in keeping Hasbro afloat still kind of surprises me. But a new lawsuit has accused the popular toy manufacturer of lying to investors regarding the TCG's recent sales success, even going so far as to begin overprinting sets in order to sell the ruse. So, yeah, so if you haven't been keeping up on this, Magic the Gathering, apparently they're trying to inject other licenses into their basically their card game. You know, like what Marvel Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a few others here and there. But all at the same time, pulling the whole wokey thing and, you know, like we've reported before, you know, the race swapping, gender swapping, blah, 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 swapping of everything except spit. And they've probably done that too. So, which have tanked sales. Kind of like what D&D has been doing as well. And not to their gain. So, losing money like crazy. Oh, that's some damn good coffee. Anyway, so yeah, apparently they've been caught, and it's kind of like how Disney's been lying to their investors as well. Kind of the same thing. So, jointly filed by shareholders Joseph Crocono and Ultan McGlone with the U.S. District Board of Rhode Island on January 21st. Oh, just a couple of days ago. The lawsuit accuses Hasbro executive leadership, including CEO Chris Cox. Oh boy, with a name like that, you deserve to get sued. Providing materially false and misleading statements to investors as to the current health of their most important line of products, which in turn led to the collapse of the game's second-hand market. Well, go woke, go broke, like a certain helmeted figure says. So, per a recap provided by the Rhode Island-based Go Local Prov news outlet, the case received their attention due to Hasbro's current headquarters being located in Pawtucket. And the lawsuit explains Magic is a popular card game, I mean, ever since the 90s, really, which notably features rare cards highly sought after by collectors. Such cards may fetch upwards of thousands of dollars on the secondary market. And that's true. I mean, because as far as I know, I think one of the rarest cards is something called like, what was it, a Black Lotus? I don't know, some flower card or something like that. Apparently it's like super mega rare. And I think I've, just out of curiosity, I've seen it go on eBay for like up to $10,000. It's crazy. I've never played the game before. My brother did in the 90s. And I think he might still have some of the cards. I've never really had an interest in playing it, but yeah, it's. I remember in the 90s hanging around in coffee shops, and some of my friends would be playing this game, Magic the Gathering, and yeah, it's like it's like D&D but with cards. So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, but not Japanese, and D&D. So, but apparently, I mean, you got to give it a little bit of kudos, I mean, for kind of surviving this long for a card game. It's kind of a phenomenon. Yeah, exactly, Vince. Yeah, I'm glad I never got into Magic the Gathering. Yeah, same here. I've had no compulsion to even try. Because I mean, at the time I was more into, obviously like, the Image comics and stuff like that. And when they came out with the card game, the Wildstorms card game, I don't know if any of you guys might remember that. You might. I collected those. I had a full entire deck. I think also I was collecting the Star Wars cards when Star Wars was a playable card game back then too. I got a few of those. Was playing with a friend of mine in college, so it was pretty fun. But other than that, yeah, no, it's never really interested me. So, but anyway, so what else is going on? So, given the nature of Magic's secondary market, the rate at which new Magic cards sets are printed and sold directly impacts the value of existing Magic cards to collectors, right? So, the more you print out, obviously, the less rare a card becomes. And then, it obviously doesn't fetch a huge resale value, basically, if you ever want to sell it or something like that. So, such as the overprinting of new Magic sets would reduce the value of existing Magic sets. Although analysts and investors consistently inquired as to whether the company was in fact overprinting Magic sets. The individual defendants repeatedly denied such speculation, basing its claims on a review of internal corporate documents produced by defendants to plaintiffs' counsel. The defendants' public documents, conference calls, and announcements made by defendants. The lawsuit argues that this overprinting scheme caused the company substantial harm by causing it to repurchase its own shares at artificially inflated prices. That seems like a little illegal to me. So in total, the company spent an exaggerated amount of approximately $125 million to repurchase approximately 1.4 million shares of its own common stock at artificially inflated prices from April 2022 to July 2022, and it caused the company to overpay for repurchases of its own stock by approximately $55.9 million. Hooray! So, Vincent says, yeah, I had quite a number of Star Trek TNG collectible card game cards. Really? I don't remember if I ever seen a Star Trek collectible card game. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, obviously, but I didn't know there was a thing. I know Star Wars was for sure. But Star Trek, well, you know what? That doesn't surprise me. So, damn good coffee. I wonder what the rare cards would be in that. I'm assuming, obviously, maybe Spock, Kirk, Bones. Oh, sorry, Next Generation. Counselor Troy. No, I'm kidding. Nobody wants Counselor Camel Toe. Anyway. So, providing a brief overview of the saga thus far, the lawsuit then recalls, according to the company's segmentation strategy, new Magic sets are to be printed to meet demand from new consumer segments like, collectors, competitive players, casual players, blah, blah, blah. And, but the truth began to emerge November in 22 when Bank of America issued a report that the company has been overprinting Magic cards and risk damaging the value of the Magic brand. It's kind of funny that a bank would kind of issue a report like that. It's like, it's for lack of a better description, it's a card game played by nerds. And I know we're all nerds here, whether we like Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever, anime, manga, blah, blah, blah. But, it just seems odd to me that the Bank of America is taking a particular interest in Magic the Gathering card game. So the truth continued to emerge back in January 26th of 23, when the company issued a press release to announce its financial results for the fourth quarter and full year of 2022. Anyway, so, blah, 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 blah. The truth emerged on October 2023 before the market opened when Hasbro issued a press release to announce its disappointing financial results for the third quarter of 2023. And the Q3 23 press release reported that the company had reduced owned inventory by 27%, but further noted that consumer products inventories has decreased by 34%. Does anybody really care about the numbers? No, not really. It's just basically they lied to investors, they overprinted, and that's right. Nerds. So, no, exactly. Every major IP had one in the 90s. Yeah, everything. I mean, I remember even some sort of anime card game. And I'm not talking like Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm talking about like different anime series in a card game. I can't remember exactly who was in it, but it was kind of weird. I don't know who got the license to it, though. Didn't Nintendo do that too, says Vincent? Withheld products to inflate the price. It was either Nintendo or PlayStation. It almost sounds like maybe it's kind of like something that Xbox would do. Microsoft. I don't know. Nintendo seems kind of too clean to do that, but you know what? That wouldn't surprise me either. It really honestly wouldn't. Revenge of the Nerds reference. No, I get it. And he also says, yeah, I think One Piece had one. Yes, I'm pretty sure One Piece had a collectible card game. And I know Dragon Ball did. Yeah, see? There you go. John says that, yeah, One Piece and Dragon Ball both had one. Yep, they did. So I do remember that much. Yeah. But, yeah, no, we're not reprinting. We're not printing more. Everything is just in high demand, and you're making money. Meanwhile, we're buying our own stock to inflate the price to make it look like we're making money, but still printing more cards to make it look like they're in high demand. No, you just don't do that. Expect failure. So kind of reminds me of the prototype card game I made for Hasbro now. See, with this coming out, it does. It literally reminds me. Back in 2001. Was it 2001? It was. No, it might have been 2002. 2001, 2002. And I can show you the email to prove it. I did a prototype card game for Hasbro, a Transformers prototype card game for Hasbro. And I still got the cards that I made. And I had the instructions for it and everything like that. I did the entirety of G1. I think I did the alternators, or in Japan, Vinyl Tech. I did Beast Wars. I did Robots in Disguise from 2001. God, I did a whole whack of them. And the guy at the time that was running the Transformers department, Josh Izzo, I think he's working with like Fox Interactive now or something like that, for years. Anyway, he was the guy that I was talking to in Hasbro, and he liked it, and he actually, I sent him a deck that I made, and I mailed it to him along with a CD-ROM that I mailed all the way to Pawtucket, and he took the card game to the San Diego Comic-Con, and he showed Wizards of the Coast, and they said they liked it so much that they might want to go with that concept idea. But unfortunately, and if any of you guys were into card games, even in the early 2000s, they chose another direction where you had to, you got these Transformer cards. It was supposed to be a card game, but you had to punch out the pieces, and you could make them into, an Autobot or a Decepticon, whichever one they were, or you can take the pieces and transform them into a vehicle. And it was a stupid comment, and it didn't concept, sorry, and it didn't last for long because you'd end up losing the small little pieces. It was pretty dumb, but only to realize that, what was it, about maybe 5-6 years ago, they literally took the concept that I had and they released a collectible card game, a Transformers collectible card game. So, and I could show you the cards right now. I could bring up the file and I can show you. And, the artwork is obviously different because it was early 2000s, but pretty similar. You had one in robot mode. You had one in vehicle mode. They all had different powers and stuff like that. Anyway, so a little bit of history from Comic Relief Crusader. So anyway, further detailing the client's grievances, Crocono and McClone's legal team argued that these dodgy statements or from Hasbro's leadership were made in breach of their fiduciary duties, owned to Hasbro, willfully or recklessly made and or caused the company to make false and misleading statements. Well, yeah, obviously, and they should be sued as such, Hasbro's strategy with regard to printing magic cards were not as carefully thought out as portrayed. The company was, in fact, printing a volume of magic sets, which exceeded customer demand, and the company's inventory allocation management was problematic. Well, if you print too much, you don't know where to put them, right? Especially if nobody wants to buy that much. So, particularly as it pertained to the company's printing strategy for magic sets, the company was overloading the market with magic sets to generate revenue and to offset shortfalls within the company. So as a result of the company's overprinting of the sets, existing magic cards were devalued, and the company basically tanked and failed to maintain internal controls. So, yeah, you end up losing money if you overprint, and if they're not selling, and you're devaluing the rare cards. Basically, don't be surprised if you're falling into problems, especially if you don't know where to store the cards that aren't even selling. So basically, all in all, the lawsuit also claims that Hasbro utilized the revenue of Magic to account for revenue shortfalls were elsewhere in the company, and in order to account for shortfalls in other elements of the company's business, the new magic sets would thus be parachuted in to provide additional revenue. So, as such, the explosive growth in the magic business noted just prior to and during the relevant period was in fact the result of the parachute strategy. So basically, you burn the investors, and now you're in trouble because you screwed up. So you lie, and this is what you get. So yada yada yada. Did you not learn from Disney? Probably not. And well, Hasbro, I'm sorry if you don't listen to the fans. You haven't listened for fans for years. You put out stuff that nobody wants. You overinflate prices. Like, I mean, I know some of you collectors out there. I mean, let's just take a simple Transformer toy. Let's say when they reissued the original Soundwave, okay, with Laserbeak. Or was it with Ravage? I'm pretty sure it was Laserbeak. And, obviously no die-cast metal. And it's all plastic. And I think it came out last year or something like that. And I was kind of tempted because our youngest daughter, she likes Soundwave. She does. And the tapes that go along with it. And, who can blame her, right? He's a cool toy. But I looked at the price and it was like $75. I'm like, are you kidding me? $75 for a freaking figure? For basically, you're doing a reprint. So it's so dumb, to charge so much for a hunk of plastic. It's insane. They'll end up in a landfill right next to the ET cartridges. And the Funko Pops thingies. Yeah, I don't get Funko Pops. I really honestly don't. I think those are the most useless things. Funko Pops. I don't see why everybody likes Funko Pops. It's dumb. Really, John, I live 10 minutes from Funko's HQ in Everett, Washington. Wow. Really? Do you work for Funko? Do they have a big giant Funko in the in front of their building or something like that? I'm kind of curious. That's pretty interesting. Soundwave superior, Constructicons inferior. I know what you're quoting. Gap, I have 30 pops. Really? What is... Explain the draw to it. Because I really... It doesn't... It looks like the figures don't come with any accessories or anything like that. It's just a big head on a small body. It's kind of like a bobblehead, but it doesn't bobble. So, oh hell no. More than one, in fact. Oh, really? Why doesn't that surprise me? It doesn't surprise me. So, but anyway, yeah, that's what happens. So, anywho, seeing how this is a little bit of a crammed titillating Tuesdays, and so far I'm titillating your ears with some of the news, especially what happened before. Let's take a brief break with a thought from the throne from Rancor Steve. How about that? Like now.
I love that.
It's been scientifically proven that if you want to win an election, pick someone who knows their language, like, English or French. None of this bull DEI stuff. It doesn't work out. And also scientifically proven that if a guy still drives a Subaru, he's a lesbian. Yeah.
I love that.
There you go. I have no idea what he's talking about. Anybody can speak English. So, except for me, SA. So, there you go.
Gap After Dark. Let's see. I get the ones with the IPs like, for example, Battlestar Galactica, Flash Gordon, etc. The miniseries pops, etc. Oh, okay. So, yeah. So basically, from series that you kind of like. No, I kind of get that. I do. Let's see. Rangor still stuck in the toilet. Yes, he is forever in the toilet. I'm gonna have to get him to do more, because I'm slowly running out of them. So, and I need more thoughts from the throne from Steve. Yeah, he's always in the men's room. I know. Go figure. You think he'd be bold and, maybe for once assume a different gender and go into the women's bathroom just to see what would happen. But, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. So, anyway, next article up for bid on The Price is Right. This one I've been saving for Al, because hopefully he's still in the chat. And, this is odd news. We need a Rancor Steve toilet pop. Oh my god. I'm gonna send him a screenshot of that. No, you know what? Hold on here. Because I am in control of the channel. You know what I'm gonna do? Here we go. There we go. I'm gonna take a picture. And there we go. I have now sent it to Rancor Steve. We need a Rancor Steve toilet Funko Pop. Oh my god. Okay. So this one I've been saving for Al. Al, if you're still around, you're going to find this maybe a little bit of a curiosity, because I don't know what to make of this. But from bounding in the comics, see if you guys can make sense of this whatsoever, because I really honestly can't. That's right, Gap. I did it for you. DC Comics destroys Marvel in 2025 in comic book sales. And I'm like, what? Like, how is that even possible? I mean, I know one of the two have to come out on top somehow. There you go. Still here in the studio, just waiting for some white paint to dry on a page. Ooh. Nice. See, folks, there you go. He's hard at work this late. Let's see, being 2 hours ahead. So it's like after 10 o'clock at night, and he's still working on a comic. That is dedication for you, folks. And if you want, please go by swordofeden.com and peruse through all the comics that that Al Nickerson has there. Because if you don't, you're a dirty commie. That's all I can say. And there's a website right there. So anyway, so DC Comics destroys Marvel in 2025 comic book sales. I have no idea. No idea. That I can't believe that. First of all, Ultimate Batman, which I haven't looked at, but it looks so stupidly ridiculous. And the other thing is, both of them are so damn bloody woke. It's basically, it just boggles the mind. It just does. New Batman and related titles were always among the top sellers. Marvel only had Spider-Man. So, and John, I resent that. I'm a perfectly clean commie. Oh, jeez. So, okay. Because we hear both sides of the story. Marvel, DC, both producing crap. Both producing this. God, I'm even tired of saying the word woke. Just excuse the language, but just basically bullshit stories. Bullshit stories. That's what they are. They're not even entertaining anymore. Their titles get like recycled, over and over and over again. With new number ones. It's because, they got crappy writers. Nobody wants to buy their crap. And then, then the title ends. And then a few months later, it's like, another Iron Man #1. Volume, 17 at this point or something like that. Anyway, let's find out what's going on because this is weird. Okay. So, apparently comic book sales rankings for 2025 are out, and it's rough news for Marvel Comics. It should be rough news for both of them, basically. According to data released by ICV2, IVC2. It's basically a website that they cover a lot of comic news and sales rankings based on comic store the POS data, point of sale data, I believe it is, something like that. Marvel only placed 8 titles in the top 50 best-selling comic books of 2025, with the highest ranking pure Marvel title, whatever that's supposed to mean, Ultimate Wolverine #1, not showing up until number 22 on the list. That's not. Remember when Wolverine just sold? Like it was at the point of that effort. You slap Wolf in any title and everybody bought it because it was like, totally basically. That's sad. That's pathetic. I mean, yeah, I know that right now they got this Deadpool Batman crossover. It's like, does it matter? Right. Greg Capullo. Okay, so he's doing the cover for this at least. And that's nearly 24 spots below the title, below the #1 title, Deadpool Batman #1, which was a Marvel DC crossover. So I didn't even know that this was a crossover. I had the faintest idea that this was out, and I'm glad because I really don't care. I really honestly don't care. Yeah, Wolverine is too diluted now. they did to him what they did to Batman. Really. So it's like Wolverine basically is like, or absolute or Wolverine, I don't know what they call it, Ultimate Wolverine or whatever, is like Ultimate Batman. Like, oh God, it's just dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. So dumb. It's pointless. It's whatever. So anyway, also notable, Amazing Spider-Man #1. There's another number one. Okay. Marvel's flagship title didn't hit until number 25 on the list. So, I mean, dang, you got the only really big name I recognize in this is John Romita Jr. in this. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. Looking at this cover here, let me, you know what? I'm going to do something here. Because usually I zoom in because, sorry, getting old and you have to squint at the screen sometimes. The cover looks boring. It's not exciting whatsoever. Al, I don't know if you're listening, or I probably have you on speakers or something like that while you're doing your work, while you're waiting for white ink to dry. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. The cover just looks boring. There's nothing exciting about it. It's just Spider-Man and, a couple of villains, I guess, in the background, and Black Cat and a car. It doesn't grab me. So, no, you're right, Vincent. Does that #1 craps even still work? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work anymore. So, and yeah, they're still making the same mistake with Spider-Man 2. Exactly. 100%. And John also says, yeah, there's nothing unique about Wolverine anymore. There's a bunch of his clones. Batman has his Bat family, making him no longer unique. Exactly. It's 100% true. You're introducing a bit too much. So, but no, it either, how should I put this? I find that they get a writer on it. If it fails, they cancel the series. Or sometimes they'll just, we're going to turn this into a maxi series or a mini series or something like that. And then they cancel it. Wait a few months and try to reboot it again. It's terrible. Al here. See, folks, and we got a comic professional here. That is a terrible Spidey cover. If John Romita Jr. drew the cover, that would have been better. Yeah. It would have. 100%. I liked it when he did Daredevil years ago. That was pretty good. I liked John Romita Jr.'s artwork. And I liked it when he did Spider-Man. Years ago. But it's who the frick drew this? I can't even make the signatures. It looks like just a bunch of squiggles. It looks like it's supposed to be like a gatefold cover of some sort, but it's boring. There's nothing, nothing grabby about it. So, let's see. Vincent says, what's your opinion on the Sam Raimi Darkman reboot? Is that still maybe coming? I hope so. Because I remember Darkman, yeah, that was like what, late 80s or early 90s? That was pretty good. If he does, I hope he does a reboot again. Or I don't think he'll do a continuation of it, but I'll look into that. I'll see if I can find out something about that, because that'd be interesting. But yeah, no, there's nothing special about this cover. It looks boring. It's just, Spider-Man, and you can tell, yeah, there's Sandman. There's a pumpkin bomb right there. Okay, yeah, sure, Black Cat, whatever. Doc Ock's I don't know. Even the arm for Doc Ock's arm looks different. And I'm assuming that this gray arm is Rhino. I mean, it would have to be. And what's this? Like some sort of electrical charge zappy thing. So I'm guessing that's Electro, and they changed the color on that. So it's, I don't know, it's just boring. There's no feel to it. So, you know, usually when you picked up a comic, you know, you looked at the cover and it's supposed to wow you. This does not wow me. So anyway, so meanwhile, DC Comics dominated, claiming nearly every spot in the top 20 with Batman titles, of course. Absolute editions and high-profile one-shots like DCKO and Martian Manhunter. So, like, okay, fine. And I guess this is supposed to be Joker in this absolute Batman, so he looks like Joker Venom or Joker Vindicator from Spawn or something like that. It's just no. I mean, Vincent. I'm not saying the movies were that weren't that bad, weren't all that bad. No, they weren't. It was pretty interesting. They were very interesting. And yes, got to look at Jessica Jones' return in Daredevil Reborn. It might pique my interest. I just found the last season just boring. I did. And Al Nickerson, Mr. Comic Man himself here on this channel, says, listen, Marvel Comics and DC Comics suck. There's no hope for these companies. I've given up on them years ago. Support comics that you would like to read. Exactly. And that's why, again, you want to go ahead and check out Alan Nickerson's YouTube, because occasionally he'll post something there, which is fun and lighthearted. And you also want to harass the living daylights on him on Facebook. So while he's busy trying to make his third issue of Sword of Eden, you can go ahead and harass him on Facebook and ask him all kinds of questions and stuff like that that he'll have to answer because he's only being polite in a kind of a Canadian way. And if you want to go ahead and check out all the comics that he has, the 2 issues right now of Sword of Eden, which is obviously Sword of Eden and Sword of Eden Shinobi, then you want to go over to Messianic Comics there and get all that you desire on that. And also remember, he also has some of the stuff there on eBay that you want to check out as well. So go ahead and check out the plethora of goodiness that is Al Nickerson's comics. So you want to go ahead and do that. So, because if you don't, you're a damn commie. Right, John? Right. You beat me with Joker Venom. I did. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's again, it's like a crossover between Venom and Joker, you know. And okay, sure, I guess he has, I don't know, what are these, horns or something like that, fleshy protruding nodules of some sort. I don't know. It's just, you know, I know it's supposed to be absolute and everything has to be absolute, or just, you know, you dial it up to 10. And I suppose it works. So yeah, whatever. It still doesn't interest me. So, but anyway, the Batman brand alone accounted for over a dozen spots in the top 20. So not a bit of a surprise there, because for some odd reason, whenever Warner Brothers is desperate for money, or DC Comics, it's straight to Batman all the time. And at least for me, that gets tiring. So it's a stark contrast that reflects where fan interest and dollars went to 2025. For Marvel, the numbers paint a clear picture that DC basically won last year. And that just still I find bizarre. I do. So this is the top 20. Okay. Deadpool and Batman, number 1. At number 1. Number 2 is Batman, number 1. Number 3 is Batman Deadpool, number 1. Oh, so one is Deadpool Batman, the other one is Batman Deadpool. Okay, so I guess one is on the Marvel side, obviously one is on the DC side. Okay, So Invincible Universe Battle Beast. So there you go, Al. Your Battle Beast got number 4. DCKO. So I'm guessing it's I don't know what, a Mortal Kombat DC crossover or DC characters beating the living crap out of each other or something like that. I'm guessing. Batman number 158. Having the faintest idea, but okay. Absolute Batman at number 7. Issue 15. Issue 13 at number 8. Absolute Flash. I didn't even know that was a thing. And Absolute Batman number 4 at 10. 5 at 11. 7 at number 12. 6 at 13. 9 at 14. And Batman number 2 at 15. Jeez. Absolute Batman number 8 at 16. I didn't even know there was an Absolute Martian Manhunter. Absolute. So everything is like Absolute Batman, pretty much. Absolute Batman Annual. Absolute Batman number 10 at number 20. So, yeah.
Railway Nation Gaming.
What's up, buddy? What's up, dude? How's it going?
Amigo, how's it going? I hope you are doing well. So, there you go. He's a lot of Batman.
Yeah, I bet Bruce has a pretty high chiropractic bill. Carrying all of DC Warner around has to be tiring. Right? Exactly. Vince says, yeah, I never got into 2099, and then I saw Punisher 2099 and Conan 2099. I felt vindicated. So, I liked, you know what? I had Spider-Man 2099 number 1. I got it. What was another one that I got? I got X-Men 2099 because Ron Lim did the cover, and I liked Ron Lim as an artist, you know, especially because, you know, Silver Surfer. My brother loved Punisher. And I believe he got Punisher 2099 when that came out. There was another one too, and I'm trying to remember what it was, and I can't remember. But actually, the Punisher 2099 was an inspiration for his comic book character when we did a fanzine back in the early 90s. I should show it to you guys sometime. Yeah, he called the character Kevlar. So, it was actually not too bad. So, it was a pretty good idea. But anyway, yeah, this is just bizarre because I mean by now we've seen artists on Facebook and X, you know, especially again recently, you know, like with Wolverine and Batman, and they're beating up ICE officers. And I even seen one with what was it, Warren Ellis, and he did one of Optimus Prime. Basically, you know, he drew this picture of ICE agents trying to shoot at a family, and Optimus is like, you know, blocking or protecting the family with his arm. You know, it's when these artists start to, God, they start to get all political. And especially in the writing, it tends to get very obviously very political. And I could have swore that DC was getting more preachier than Marvel. And that's kind of even hard to say that, considering Marvel is pretty damn preachy. You know, it's just weird, you know. I just saw the cover for Punisher 2099, and I said, hell no. No. I know. That's why I never got it, and I let my brother get it. I didn't like it. It just looked like crap to me. I'm sorry. It just did. I didn't even know they did a Conan 2099, but whatever. I mean, let me put it to all of you that are watching on X, watching on Rumble, watching on the YouTubes, you know, and please comment, obviously. And also, when we go, leave a comment. Like, not in the live chat, but also in the comments too, because it helps the algorithm make this channel grow larger. And and don't forget to like and and if you happen to be new here, subscribe and share the channel out. Like, really honestly, at this point, getting called for, like, learn to draw manga kind of thing. It would really honestly help to really try to make this channel grow. I mean, I'm trying to just put it out there. If a little bit of plugging by you guys, I would be eternally grateful. And just let's just try to get the channel out there and make this huge. But has anybody read Absolute Batman? I mean, to me, when the first issue came out, I mean, he just looked like a wall, basically. And I mean, like, it really honestly can't be that good, is it? I don't know. It's not that I'm afraid to read it. It's like, do I care enough to set curiosity aside and just take a look? And if anything, I would just download it. I mean, I don't even want to buy an issue, because if I'm going to buy an issue of something, I better like it. But as it goes, I don't even want to buy. And this kind of brings me back to what I was talking about, like, earlier. About this whole manga journey as well. It's because I'm so tired of the North American comic market, the mainstream North American comic market. It just is absolute. Again, excuse the language, but it's dog shit now. It used to be fun to read. It used to be fun when people like, and this is now an old fogey talking, but, when people like John Byron or Sal Buscema, actually, who passed away, which is really unfortunate. Another great one lost. But, when you had great artists and stuff like that, Rancor Steve is calling. Hi, Rancor Steve.
Hey, are you live?
I am live right now, and guess what? I'm putting you right to the microphone right now, and you're live with everybody on Titillating Tuesday.
Oh, what up? Hey, did you get the doctor note?
Did I get a doctor's note? No.
Yeah. Didn't you get, like, some report about syphilis or something?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
However, Gap After Dark wants a Funko Pop made of you.
Oh.
Yeah, on the toilet, because we still do your Thoughts from the Throne.
Oh, you do?
Well, of course we do. I need more from you.
I got a thought.
Okay.
All right. If you go in and purchase firearm, and you say, hey, I'm here to pick up my firearm, make it very clear I'm only here to do my background check.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to make the person walk all the way in the back room and go through every stinking folder file of each person and never find the person. There's my thought.
There you go. Vincent says, hi, Steve, don't flush. Al Nickerson says, hi, Steve. So, everybody's saying hi to you. And that they miss you. So there. Dude, I will talk to you later, or hopefully when I finish this show. So okay.
Sounds good. I didn't know you were live.
Well, you should know that. It's Titillating Tuesdays.
I do know that now.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, fine.
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
All right. See you, dude.
Bye, Cat.
Bye. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Rancor Steve, and he says, he says bye to everyone. There we go. I had to do that just because. So where was it going with this? Anyway, no. Again, this is kind of why I wanted to go the manga route, as opposed to just I don't want to say plain Jane ordinary, North American comic route, uh and it's not to poo on anyone that just wants to produce a comic in North America that's been professionally trained to do so. It has nothing to do with that. It's just recently, I believe it was what was it, yesterday or today, Jim Lee said, I can't believe that it's no surprise that manga's overtaking North American comics, because it's a fantastic genre, and it's no wonder because a lot of their stuff is a lot better. It's like, no, it's because none of their comics get woke or political or let's say, in the case of what Eric Larson does in Savage Dragon recently, pretty much draw pornography. I mean, even Top Cow, Mark Silvestri's studio. Oh my God. What he's put out lately. I mean, it might as well be a borderline Playboy comic. From what I've seen from somebody asked me, like, can you believe this? This is why I don't want to. It makes me not want to participate. If I go in this particular type of art direction, maybe that just sounds weird saying that, but I don't know. Anyway, Al says, my local comic shop retailer absolutely or enjoyed Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman. Oh, there's an Absolute Wonder Woman too. Okay. I was told that these books sold well. To me, they look like ugly woke comic books. I don't know. Maybe I'll download a couple of issues and just I don't know, skim through it or something like that. It's weird. I don't get it, but maybe I'm just at that age where I just don't get what the kids are thinking anymore. Nita Jacobson and Brad Simpson on Dirty Dancing 2, which is set to begin shooting later this year, with star Jennifer Grey returning. Patrick Swayze. I thought Patrick Swayze was, dead. Okay, well, interesting. So nothing new from Hollywood. Let's see, and Gap is laughing his ass off, so which is good. He's in good humor. Vincent, besides Sydney Sweeney's bra and panties on the sign. Oh yeah, the Hollywood sign. Yeah. So that's interesting. That's a girl that really knows how to advertise herself. I'm just gonna say this, because it's interesting. Manga's #1 issue. Afaic? I don't know how to pronounce that. Is their titles? They're just too damn long now. Some of them are. It's kind of weird because in a weird kind of way, it's some of them that have like insanely long titles, like what was it? How I Reincarnated Back into a Slime or something like that. Like is one of them. Some of them have like really insanely long titles. But I think that's why they get recognized, because it's kind of out of the ordinary in a Japanese manga. And I think that's why they kind of weirdly become popular. It's kind of an oddity. And yeah, wasn't Savage Dragon always a bit more mature? Yeah. I mean, in a way, yes. It sort of kind of was. But see, Eric Larson, Yeah, except for that article. So go figure. Anyway, the weird thing is, see, Savage Dragon always used to be kind of fun, right? Is always, kind of like a fist fight, battling some sort of weird supervillain or something like that. And that's what kind of made it fun. Now, if you look at the recent issues over the past year, first of all, Savage Dragon isn't even in it anymore. From what I understand, he's dead, and now his son is like Savage Dragon, by the name of Malcolm, and dating some Asian girl of some sort. Nothing wrong with that. It's like, whatever. It's his comic, but it's literally gotten pornographic. And, when Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse basically came into public domain, Eric Larson jumped on that. And he turned the character pretty vile. Like to the point where it's like a dirty, perverted old man kind of thing. And I don't want to go into great detail of what he was drawing in that, but let's just say certain female private parts, and I think maybe even a couple of male private parts were showing. And it's not. And this should not, to me, it should not even be on a comic book shelf. It should be, because kids go into these shops and if they, and again, and it goes back to covers like what I was talking about before with the Spider-Man cover being boring. If a kid picks it up and says, oh, this looks interesting, and then, as we've all done as kids, happen to flip through it, and they see that kind of stuff, like, oh my God, like mentally, even down the road mentally, you're sending that child down the wrong path because, it like they say, kids are like sponges, right? And what goes in the eyes sometimes gets stuck in the mind. And, material like that should really be behind the shelves. It's kind of like how you go into a convenience store, okay? And cigarettes are kind of like behind the counters because, they don't want kids, and sometimes even behind a door where, kids can't see them kind of thing because you don't want to influence kids into smoking kind of thing. Kind of like that kind of concept, right? It should be like that. Especially with books, especially out of Image, that are coming out with like stuff like that. Heavy metal. Yeah. See, here's the thing about heavy metal. I mean, heavy metal has always been, it's had really good stories. It's got really good art. But it was never really, at least where I was at, anywhere. So whether it was in a comic book store or even in a bookstore, like, whether it was like, back in New Brunswick in St. John or in Calais, Maine, where they had like comics for sale in a big bookstore. Heavy metal was never really in the comic aisle, and so it was always kind of separate. And at least from what I can remember, it was always in a section for, obviously, quote unquote, mature readers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, heavy metal's had some pretty racy things in there. So, but at least I think I remember, not to the point where it was pretty much pornographic. I mean, what Eric Larson has done is, damn. And what Mark Silvestri is letting come out of Top Cow Studios, yeah, is very questionable. I question these people's motivations. Let's put it that way. So, but that's just me. And, you know, I mean, who am I to judge? I'm not the one that's going to judge them in the end. It's not up to me. So, but anyway, seeing how that was all going on and stuff like that, I suppose seeing how One Piece is coming up soon, we should probably do a One Piece episode. Or should I just make fun of Marvel and DC and go a little bit of a different route? I'm not entirely sure, but let's do something funny for a change. All hell Galvatron. Yes, I'm glad you like those pictures. And Vince, I grew up with the French comics, so it's nothing to me. Yeah, see, European has a little bit of a different mentality when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it's I want to word it correctly. Nudity in Europe there's no real hang up in Europe about that kind of thing, because it has been in art for hundreds of years. And it's just a part of it. It's just a part of the culture, part of the life. You know, so there's really no hang-ups about it. I mean, that's all I can kind of come out with, really. You know, it's just been always part of the culture, art-wise. So, but anyway, so before we go, enjoy this. Ba-ba-bum-ba-dum-bum.
Yeah. Following. It's not a damn race! Cody, Zorro, don't worry.
Now I'm worried.
I'm here to shave you. Nah, thanks, dude. I like my hair. What? Yo! Yayo! Dreamin'. Don't it up, Lupe. Dreamin'. Don't it up, Zola. Dreamin'. Don't it up, Nave. Dreamin'. Don't it up. That's it, you pirate bastards! You're all going to die! I'm going to chop you limb from limb. You're going to have a little bit of the captain in you. You will die so bad you'll be dead, and then you will stay dead. He's not listening, is he? Look at you! You're so cute! Fire a warning shot into his face.
Nobody move or the boy gets it!
Dude, they got Cody!
Oh no, they got Cody.
You'll shave me yet again, baby seal!
But you still have all your hair. Okay.
I don't think you get it, Rubber Man. This arm of mine here is good for two things. Lumberjacking, dicing onions, and executing traitors of the state. No, you don't get it! No one shoots at Mr. Fuzzy Flippers! And gets away with it! His speed! Incredible! It's like the Flash! I've seen faster. Friggin' sandals! Uh-oh.
Stop it! I'll kill the boy, I swear!
God, that was unnecessarily violent! Hey, Zorro, did you see that one? You think I punched the dad's jaw clean off? Yeah, sweet. Oh, almost forgot. How you guys doing over there?
Arriba!
What do you say, Cody? Post-battle victory meal?
Arriba!
Huh. Thanks for the save, guys. I didn't think I was gonna make it. Don't thank us! Thank those delicious golden treats! You don't mean I do! Truly the snack food of the gods!
Oh, come on, they can't be that good. Arriba!
Sorry.
Ah, there you guys are. Yeah. So, we took another look at the charter, and apparently a Mexican fiesta is not the proper response to the depth of our captain. Yeah, it turns out we're supposed to— Oh my god! You can leave, but those stay.
And so, our three brave heroes set out for the adventure of a lifetime.
Ah, shit, we forgot Cody! You are in a lot of trouble.
And so, our two brave heroes set out for the adventure of a lifetime.
Yeah, right there! There it is again!
Who knows what dangers await our two brave companions?
Nope!
But whatever, we know Monkey D. Luffy and Zolo Zoro will be ready.
How are you not hearing it? Wait, your name is Zolo Zoro? Yeah, dude, my parents hated me! Ha ha! Shucks to be you! Said Monkey Dumb Foot Luffy. No, your foot is dumb!
What does the D stand for?
D.
Yeah, what does it stand for?
D.
Yeah, what does it stand for?
D.
Yeah, what does it stand for?
D! Yeah! What does it stand for? D! Yeah! What does it stand for? D! It stands for D! D-E-E! This party's getting crazy! Yes, it is, Zoro. And it reminds me of the time I got me hat. Now sit there and listen as I tell you a tale. A tale of long ago. You see, Zoro, it was a different time back then. The BGs were grooving up the dance scene, Howard Taft was building the pyramids, and mandatory aviators were distributed at your local watering hole.
I am an alcoholic millionaire playboy who is on the brink of an arranged marriage to a wealthy single woman.
I am a young Iowa corn farmer with an Oscar-winning wife and paranoid delusional tendencies.
And together we fight illegal narcotics and crime lords in the mean starts of LA.
Damn it, autocorrect!
Arthur,
huh?
You just described the plots of Arthur, Field of Dreams, and Lethal Weapon 2.
No, I don't think so.
Well, you did.
I see. Well then, after we built a ball field for Eliza Minnelli and Dudley Moore to stop some South American drug dealers, Shanks had an epiphany.
I just had an epiphany.
I could see he wanted to tell me something important.
Luffy, I want to tell you something important.
Then, he imparted the wisdom of the forefathers to me.
What's this now?
I knew I should listen very carefully, for his words could have the intrinsic truth of the universe.
Come on, Luffy. Let's drink until our heart...
His knowledge was truly something to behold.
Uh-oh.
And then his wisdom flowed forth like a fountain of information that took 3 days to clean.
Still doesn't really explain the hat.
Oh.
Here's a hat.
Bitchin'!
I'm gonna kill that f***ing bird! Hold the fort, Zoro! Let go, you stupid bird! Maybe it was the majestic flight of this fat bird, but for the first time, I experienced true serenity, love, happiness, and peace roamed in my mind. Yeah, well, your service fights anyway!
Still beats Delta, though.
I don't know who you are, but your timing sucks!
Women, am I right, guys?
No! My hat!
That bird exploded.
Wow! Your people skills are terrible!
Yeah.
My name's Nami!
Ah, fuck! My f***ing leg! Fuck! That's a f***ing sprain! It's gonna be f***ing broken tomorrow!
Can you see down my shirt?
No.
How about now? Can you do me a favor?
As long as I don't get roped into anything stupid. Wow! I actually felt myself die a little inside! We're not married, are we?
Bark like a dog!
Okay, well, that's enough of that. So, there we go, folks. Another Titillating Tuesday out of the way. So, much to everybody's enjoyment, I imagine. So, to everybody out there, you know what? Like I said, I'll see how it goes. You know what? Maybe I think I'll share that screen because they just sent something to me. No, I can't show it on the screen. Wow, that's terrible. Evil. Anyway, I guess I can't share that on the screen. I wish I could. So, oh no, actually I can't because they sent them something in the mail. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so they sent One-shot manga starter kit, concept blueprint. So apparently they want me to kind of fill this out about planning the whole one-shot kind of thing. You know, what the title is. Let's see, age demographic. Pick only one. So for little kids, young children about 8. So for a Kodomo, a Shonen, Shoujo, Seinen, or Josei. Let's see, whether the genre is going to be a romance, action, adventure, fantasy, horror, comedy, science fiction, slice of life, whatever that's supposed to be. I think I know. Drama. And then, yeah, your 5 W's, your who, what, when, where, who, what, where, when, why, and how questions. So, kind of interesting. What else have they got there? The Kishoten Ketsu. So, because this is all about, see, in Japan, they do things a little bit differently. You know, like how we do the hero's journey kind of thing. Japanese manga stories are a little bit different, right? So you get your key, which is your intro, your show, which is, you know, your character development kind of thing, 10, which is like, you know, your plot twist, basically, right? And then Ketsu, which is your conclusion. So it's a lot of interesting stuff here to go through, fill this all out. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. So, yeah, so you know what, fans, Crusaders, I'm going to have to call all you guys Crusaders. To all of you watching on X, on Rumble, here on the YouTubes, and everywhere else in deep space. Yeah, like I said before, I kind of want to try to get this done as the Republic of Alberta's first comic to come out. So, and with you guys, well, it's nice that you guys are there. Kind of a bit of a cheering squad for me. So, gives you a little bit of encouragement. So, yeah, do the appointment tomorrow, and I'll probably go live and let you guys in on the details. So, anyway, to everybody out there, pay attention to what goes on Saturday on Mike's Movie Matinee, where we play an old movie, but a goodie. Last week we did a fun one, which was Animal Crackers from the Marx Brothers. That was actually pretty good. Wasn't too bad. And then on Sunday, Lord willing, if Al is feeling better, which more than likely it sounds like he is because he didn't kaplutz all over his page. We will do huge, phenomenal, massive circles. We'll do that. And also don't forget, on Sundays we got the Bible lessons, which you will find increasingly interesting because right now we're going through the entire book of Genesis. So you might like that because some of that kind of stuff kind of relates into the manga that I'm doing too, which makes it very interesting. So you want to find out why? Then you're going to have to kind of like listen to that. Start it from the beginning. It's pretty good, actually. And you'll find out why it's really interesting. So, that being said, thank you everybody for joining in. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you like the background. I kind of switched things up a little bit, trying to make things a little bit different and exciting. If you can, leave a like, spread the channel around, and leave a comment. Please, if you can. Spartacus over on the Rumble side. How's it going, dude? Genesis is real. Yeah, 100%. That's why you want to go ahead and look at those videos that I'm releasing on a Sunday. So there you go. Sundays are totally 100% fun because Al is also here as well. And I got to get Tom back on. Also, yes. Even though we had Rancor Steve on the phone that dropped in and said hi to all you guys out there, keep him in your prayers. He can definitely use them, and also for Tom as well. I don't want to leave Tom out of it either. So you know, he's been having a little bit of a rough time as well. So keep him up there in your prayers, and you know, pray for the both of them. You know what? I'm even going to throw Dark Helmet in there. I haven't heard from him in a while, so I want to see how he's doing. And to a lot of other people out there. So A lot of other people. But anyway, we shall talk to you guys later. Pay attention to the channel. Never know when I'm going to go live, so hopefully it's going to be this Thursday. I'll let you know on the news. And other than that, all of you stay nice and comfortable. Hope you guys dig yourself out of that snowstorm that you guys had. We didn't, because for the past 2 weeks, we're having above freezing temperatures. And with that, I bid you adieu. As I'm sticking in your face because we're getting above freezing temperatures. So anyway, bye-bye.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!